What's going on? This is Kareem from DJBooth.net, and I'm here in the lab to give you guys a quick review video of the brand new, or not so new, but it's the Phase Essential. And this is perfect for those DJ DVS users, the ones who are using digital vinyl systems or timecode vinyl, in order to play back songs from your computer for the DJ software of your choice. It basically eliminates the need for the actual timecode vinyl itself. It also eliminates the need for your needles, your head shells, and of course your whole entire tone arm assembly. It also means that you don't actually have to connect your turntables even up to your mixer or to your sound card, as this will be the new device that will be transmitting a timecode signal wirelessly from these remotes right directly to the software of your choice. It currently is compatible with Serato DJ, as well as Tractor DJ, as well as Record Box DJ, and it's also compatible with Virtual DJ, of course, as is everything else always across the board. These remotes are actually going to be applied to your records of choice, and it will actually send a timecode signal from this device to the software of your choice. So that way, again, you don't have to fuss with any type of tone arms, any needles, any cartridges, or a timecode vinyl. You can put these on any vinyl of your choice whatsoever. All you need is turntables. You're also going to need access to that software that you already have. So that means you are still going to need to have a mixer that has a Serato or whatever type of setup that you're trying to use compatible with. And you also might still need your different boxes or your DVS boxes, your sound cards, if you don't already have that capability already in your mixer. So first up, we're going to go with the construction, then with the setup. The construction of the Phase unit is very high quality. It's a very nice unit. The bottom actually has these little rubber cutouts or rubber feet on there, so that way it won't slide around if you put it on a desk or wherever you have this at while you're actually performing. It also has a nice metal construction, metal and plastic mixed in. It actually has the remotes here. The remotes feel nice and durable, and they have these little magnetic strips on the back, so that way as soon as they're placed here, they're just magnetically attached to the actual receiver of the Phase. So you see they're pretty solid. They're not going anywhere. And they also do have a official bag from the Phase team, MWM, where it will house your Phase device. You'll be able to add 2 additional remotes here just in case you want additional playback time, or for those who are professional DJs using this in a professional environment, you might want 2 other remotes just in case something happens with the other 2. But that is the Phase Ultimate setup that already comes with the remotes, and they also are going to have separate remotes available shortly at retail very soon. So it's a really cool bag. The bag has a nice open up flip spot, so that way you can put all your other gear and anything else you need to in there, and it definitely protects the device nice and well. So it's built like a tank for a nice small device, definitely battle tested, definitely ready to go. It has these 2 rubberized buttons on there, the A and the B, so that way you know which remote syncs for which deck, your A side deck or your B side deck. And they also color up and light up, so that way you guys can see which color they're on or which mode they're on. You also have on the back your RCA outputs. You have A for your A side, which will plug into your mixer, and then B from the B side, which will plug into your mixer for the B-sided deck. You also have your USB port here, and all of the lights on the back of this light up as well, so you know that you have good, strong connectivity. So the first thing you got to do for setup, it's very easy. As soon as your Phase setup comes in the mail, the first thing you want to do is you want to plug in a USB charger. Now, don't plug this in directly to your computer first. I would recommend to actually get one of those wall USB chargers. Plug the USB that's supplied into the device and other end, of course, into the wall. I would let it charge for a good 3 hours, so that way you know you're getting maximum battery the first time you use these. It also comes bundled with very high quality USB and RCA cables. This is a really nice touch, so that way you don't need anything else, anything new or additional in order to make this thing work exactly how you need it. You just plug it into everywhere we're going to show you, and you should be off and running pretty easily. The system works just as good with Serato as it does with Tractor, or as it does with Record Box, and as it does with Virtual DJ. We tested all those platforms here, and I'm happy to report that it worked just as good with all of the softwares, using all of the different software that we needed to for this test. Also, the Serato DJ setup is going to be improved because they're going to make this an official Serato DJ accessory. At the time of this review, that has not yet happened with the firmware updates, but they're definitely working on it now, and we'll have that shortly, which means even tighter integration, even better performance, and better stability when you're using this with Serato DJ. So, continue on with the quality. Again, you get your 2 RCA cables and your USB cables, and they're very, very high quality. They work really, really nicely, and they feel just really great to the touch. It's a great touch that they've added these in the box instead of just giving us some cheap RCA cables like some of the other DJ brands do when you buy $2,000 players. I'm not going to say any names on this one. But all you do in order to hook this up is right after you do the charge sequence for about 3 hours. Next, you're going to want to go to your computer. You're going to go to the Phase website, so that way you can download the Phase Manager. As soon as you download that Phase Manager, you'll be able to then plug in the USB cable to your device, and then you can do all of the configurations that you'll need to. The configurations that you can find within the Phase Manager allow you to change the colors of the remotes. You can also change the colors of your A and B deck. You can change the color of the USB light on the rear of the unit as well. And you can also go in there and calibrate these bad boys, which you're definitely going to have to do when you get them fresh out the box. I actually have to do this every time that I start the Phase system, which was one of my minor gripes with these. The color settings and everything always save within the settings, but unfortunately, for some reason, every time I go to use Phase with Serato DJ or with any other DJ setup, I always have a plus 2% of the pitch when they're rotating at 0. So they should be at 0.0% pitch, but they're going plus 2.5 on both of my remotes, and it always happens. So that's one of my gripes, is that I always have to go into the Phase Manager before I play and make sure I recalibrate these remotes by sitting them on the vinyl and getting them ready to go. So after you do plug this in and you have the Phase Manager, it's going to prompt you to upgrade the firmware for both of your remotes. It's going to bring you through a little dance and let you do that there. And then after you get the upgrade, everything should be done, and then you'll be ready to use these bad boys. You have to select from the drop down which software you're using it with. That way Phase knows which timecode signal to emit from the device over to your mixer or to your sound card, so that way you can communicate that back to your DJ software of choice. Also in the box, you're going to get these little stickers, these little black stickers, and they're actually magnetic stickers, and they're used in order to stick to any one of the vinyls that you really want of your choice. I chose some Serato DVS vinyls, and we just basically place this sticker right where you want it onto the record over the hole, and that way it's a little magnetic strip, so that way when you're ready to actually play, these will stick to the record and be there and not move around, so that way you're getting an accurate timecode signal when you're out there scratching and doing all your little DVS tricks. So you apply the sticker to the vinyl, and then you'll be able to use the Phase on top of that. So after you have the stickers attached and you're almost ready to go, the next thing to do is hook up your different cables. You're going to put your RCA into the A side, right and left for your A deck, and then for your B deck, you're going to put the RCAs into your channel 2 of your mixer and the corresponding B deck of your Phase. Once that is done, you'll be able to go into the software of your choice and check to make sure that it's getting a timecode signal. Once these bad boys are placed onto your records, and once you're getting that signal, everything else should be ready to go. You'll get a perfectly circular signal because, again, you're not going through any of the wow and flutter or any of the speed issues or any fluctuations that you would find on a regular turntable. You are going to have a really nice, smooth playback, and it's going to work pretty damn well. So I'll just give you guys a really, really quick demo so you can see exactly what we're working with here. So as you can see, they're very, very accurate. This was done in Serato DJ, this quick demo. I actually had a whole gig as at my pool in the backyard. It was really, really awesome. I'm going to flash some of that B-roll here so you can see. But these bad boys performed very, very well, flawlessly for the 4 hours that we used them. And at the end of that 4-hour gig, we still had about 55 to 60% battery left. So I would say that these can comfortably last you guys about 8 to 9 hours for a gig. They say 10 plus hours, but I would comfortably give you guys 8 to 9 hours. Anything over that, I would assume that you guys would want to purchase 2 additional remotes, because if you're a performing DJ, you're out here doing gigs that may be crazy long, then you're going to want additional remotes, so that way you can charge a set of remotes while you're also having another set of remotes ready to go. So if anything happens, if you have any issues with one of these remotes during your session, you can swap one out, maybe resync one of your decks while the other one is playing, so that way you have no issues here with the phase units when you're out playing at a gig. So another thing that I wanted to point out really quickly was the phase management software. They've been making huge updates to the phase management software. It's very, very easy to use. As soon as you plug everything in, everything just seems to work very nicely. Everything is packaged really well with the software, and all of the controls and the functions and features that are within the settings are very, very easy to get to. You also have an option where you can boost your remote signal in there now. So just in case you're in a place with a lot of interference, maybe a lot of cell phones or a lot of other wireless technologies with a lot of different people around, you may want to boost that signal up. Maybe your phase receiver is a little bit farther away than I have it here right now from the deck, and you might get some type of interference. I've never experienced that whatsoever, so I never turned this on, but you will turn on the radio boost setting inside of the phase management software, and that should give you an even stronger signal, but it will deteriorate your batteries a little bit longer. You also can set up the adjustment time for when you want your phase remotes to automatically shut off if they're no longer getting a signal from your phase receiver, so that way you save up on some battery life. I know back in the day when these first came out, a lot of DJs had issues with the battery and things were draining not normally. They weren't really working well with the software with sticker drift, and honestly I haven't had any of those issues whatsoever while using these phase remotes. The only thing that I really thought was an issue was how I had to keep calibrating the speed of the turntable for each of my phases, as it never would save that setting within the settings menu of phase management. But all in all, they've been doing great updates with the phase management software, and I look forward to seeing what else they may have in store for us coming up. So in conclusion, I had a lot of fun using Phase Essential. The Phase is a really cool new way in order to play back DVS without using your vinyl, without using your needles, your head shells, or your turn arm altogether. It just eliminates a lot of the issues that DJs are having with bad tone arms, especially if you're a gigging DJ, you're a DJ who's out there and performing, and you're always going to different venues with shitty ass turntables, and you want something that's a little bit better, that will be more reliable, and will work on basically any turntables that have a functioning motor on them. You don't have to worry about shoddy needles. You don't have to worry about messed up tone arms. You don't have to worry about feedback from different speakers or different bass booms that are in different areas. None of the hum, none of the hiss. All that stuff is eliminated. So if you're a performing DJ that's always asking on your rider to have vinyl turntables there, and you're not bringing your own turntables with you, then this is probably something that you're definitely going to want to invest in, because it just eliminates a lot of the hassle, a lot of the stress, and a lot of the things and the issues that you guys have when you go out there and play on real vinyl decks that are out there in the real world. The great things about the Phase unit is that it has excellent construction. This really feels like something that they thought out their time with and really engineered it to look good and perform well, and to just feel like a nice substantial piece of DJ equipment that you have in your hand, and it just makes it feel a little bit more worth the price point that you're paying for it. It's compatible with all DVS software, including Serato DJ, Tractor DJ, Recordbox DJ, and Virtual DJ, as long as you're using Timecode, of course. That's what this bad boy is for. And it essentially eliminates the whole tone arm and the whole output of the turntable altogether. You no longer have to plug your turntable into your mixer at all, except for if you want to play real vinyl records. If you're doing a full DVS setup, then you no longer need to plug your turntable into your mixer or your sound card, and just let this bad boy do all the talking to your software for you. It also has a good 8+ hours of remote battery life. I couldn't get it up to the 10. I didn't DJ for that long straight period of time, so I couldn't test that. But going off of my use case from the party that I threw here, and the fact that we still were at about 60% when we did over a 4-hour gig, makes me believe that we'll probably get a solid 8 to 9 hours out of these remote phase here. It also comes bundled with those really high quality RCA and USB cables, and the phase management software itself keeps seeing major updates all the time. They're allowing you to change your colors a little bit different and do a lot of cool, neat tricks with the phase remotes. And I'm sure that they're going to continuously update the phase remote and phase management software system in the years to come. On the downside, the Phase Essential does cost $400. So for a regular DJ who's kind of at home or always using their own turntables for gigs, then it's kind of going to be a little bit of a hard sell, because if you know you have a really good strong tone arm and really good needles, then that $400 initial price tag is going to give you a little bit of a sticker shock, because you can probably buy a good 3-4 cartridges that are really high quality for that price. And cartridges and needles have been lasting me a long time, especially if you get quality Ortofons or something like that. They're going to last you a pretty long time as well. So in order to go out and get this over your needles, it may be a bit of an ask for DJs who are not really in the market to need such a device, like those DJs who are touring and going around and using different turntables from different setups all across the world. My other major issue with the Phase Essential was that it does not save my turntable speed, so I always have to recalibrate every time I turn on my DJ software on my computer to make sure that these are operating at the correct speed that my turntable is actually at. And the final minor issue with the Phase Essential is that it's another point of failure for a DJ setup. You already have a USB going into your computer for whatever mixer or sound card you're using. This is an additional USB port that you're taking up here for your Phase Essential or your Phase Ultimate system. And if anything happens with this, your wireless starts going bad, your remotes run out of battery. It just is another area of failure that you wouldn't normally have unless you have, when you have like needles, or if you're doing a regular DVS vinyl setup. Of course, you're always going to have a spare needle around just in case something happens during a gig, but that's pretty rare that you're going to have those issues. And the Phase can essentially bring in a few more issues that you may not have been prepared for. So other than that, the Phase Essential is one of my new favorite pieces of DJ equipment. It's just different, and I really like the fact that you have these cool remotes and you don't have to use your needles anymore. So I'm definitely going to be using this here in the lab. I would also recommend those performing DJs to also buy additional remotes if they're going to get Phase, and maybe even buy the Phase Ultimate, which is a lot more money. It's about $650, but at least you're getting peace of mind that you have additional remotes in case anything goes wrong. So for more on this and other DJ equipment reviews and news, head on over to www.djbooth.net/DJS. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up if you like videos like this one. Make sure you guys subscribe so that way you know when all the new videos and new content is coming out. We're back, baby. Quarantine is over. Let's get it. Make sure you guys keep watching, keep staying tuned, and as always, thanks for watching.